What's up, and welcome to the Sisterhood Corner. To the newbies, welcome. To those who've been here before, welcome back. It's on to the next letter. This one is titled In the Arms of His Sidechick. Hi, Sisterhood Corner. Hope everyone is doing better than how my life is unraveling. I need your help with working through the worst pain ever. I was married for 10 years and had just the most amazing marriage. My husband was simply the best, and he took good care of me and the kids. We were in sync and did everything together. Our home was warm and full of love. So his passing 6 months ago was a big blow. It was sudden and felt like a kick in the gut. My whole world crumbled, and my poor children's little hearts broke to pieces. But after that, life got stranger than fiction. I was told he passed away at his friend's house on a Saturday afternoon. And how I found out was on a Monday morning as I was on my way to work. His brother came to our house early in the morning, stating that they did not want to alarm me and the kids, hence their decision not to tell me he had passed on the Saturday. Now, I found this strange. I questioned what he was doing at his friend's place, as he had left our home on the Friday for a business trip. I was told he fell ill and asked that they not worry me and the kids. Believe it or not, that explanation did make a bit of sense to me. Knowing my husband was knowing that he was the sort of guy who never liked worrying me about anything. It was in his nature to put my mind at ease. He believed in carrying burdens on my behalf. The brother and the rest of the family took over the funeral, and to be honest, I appreciated the support as I was simply out of it. As a result, I remember bits and pieces of the funeral. I remember seeing him in the coffin. I remember seeing my kids crying, but everything else is still a little bit of a blur. Like I said, the funeral was 6 months ago. The grief is still fresh, but I had started coming back to life and thinking about how to proceed when yet another blow hit me upside the head. I found out this man had lied about his business trip, and the so-called friend's house he passed away at was actually his side chick's house. Turns out this is a woman he had had an affair with throughout the course of our marriage, and they even had a son together. So in love he was with this woman, he died in her arms. Coming across this info has really devastated me further. For the first time, it has dawned on me why I found out so much later about his death. His brother and the rest of the family took advantage of my state to clean up their child's mess. I think what she means is that she understands why she was notified much later, right, of the death, because he died on the Friday, right, and they only told her on the Monday. So clearly that was enough time for them to start cleaning up his mess, just to try and hide information from her as to what exactly happened, where he was truly, truly found, all of that. I confronted the whole family and told them they were crooks. And going forward, as well as my children, I can't believe they all did this to me. I thought we were family. According to his death certificate, he died of natural causes. On probing further with the family, on probing further with the family, apparently the side chick told them that she woke up to his dead body the next morning after a night out, partying and drinking. I am a mess. I am angry at him. I'm angry at his family. I'm angry at that side chick. How do I heal? Sure, I'm really so sorry. This is rather a heavy one. I'm so sorry that you are going through this. Um, I don't I wouldn't wish this on anyone, not even my worst enemy. I think that such things rank at the top of the list, of the worst things that could possibly happen, to anyone, second to death, really. Um, I'm gonna tell you this. At this point, no amount of anger, no amount of resentment is gonna change what is. Right? One of the first things that you need to do is accept the fact that this has already happened. You can't change it. You can't do anything to it. These are the facts staring you in the face. This has already happened. The man had an affair. The man had a son outside of wedlock. The man was busy with another woman throughout the marriage. So those are the facts, right? Now this is now putting the family aside. I'm going to come to them, right? But family, or the family hiding all of this from you while they like you say, they took advantage of you, acting supportive and running with the funeral just to to keep the mess away from you. um Apart from all of that, your man has already done this, and your man unfortunately is not here to answer for his sins. He's not here to explain himself and answer to you. So in terms of closure there, I think it's time to throw in the towel. There's no way you're ever going to get closure there, because the person who's supposed to give it to you is no more. I promise you, you sitting down the side chick 10 times won't do anything for you. If anything, it will just keep opening more and more wounds, because now she will give you information you really don't need to know. Okay? The same applies to the family. Even if you were to sit down the brothers and that family, nothing will give you closure. If anything, more and more information that will hurt you even more will come up. And I don't think you need that. I think right now it's the time to focus on you, your own healing. I like the fact that you say in the end, how do I heal? This is how you heal. You take care of you and your children. Take out everybody else. This is about you and your survival. How you take care of your kids is just by being there for them and making sure this information doesn't infiltrate to them in any way, because it will break them. But while doing that, go for counseling. If there's a support group of such women, I know there's always a support group or two of women who've been through similar situations. That's what you latch on to. It's going to help you a great deal. But go for counseling. Go for counseling, extensive counseling. That will help with the clarity on how to proceed going forward. It will help you with the forgiveness aspect as well. Because at some point, you're going to have to forgive involved. That's how you're going to free yourself. You holding on to it, the more it's going to hurt every day. Am I condoning what it did? Absolutely not. Am I condoning what the family did? Absolutely not. But this is not the time for that. This is the time for self-preservation. It is time to focus on you, so you get out on the other side. You make it to the other side, and you're okay, not just for you, but for your kids. It is, I think that it's usually bad enough when somebody betrays you and you get to ask them and they still don't give you the closure that you need. But I think it's also worse when you can't even ask them because they're gone. Now, like I said, life doesn't sometimes doesn't make sense. But perhaps maybe this was another way of God trying to show you which people to keep going forward and which people to can. Who your real family is and who your real family is not. Right? Perhaps it was also God's way of saying, listen, let me show you who your husband truly is. And maybe it could be freeing for you. Because think about it this way, if you didn't know this bit of information, you would have held on to the dream and the idea of the wonderful marriage that you had. And chances are going forward, you might not even have thought of the idea of moving on with your life. This frees you. Now you can move on guilt-free, knowing that you held your end of the bargain, but somebody else didn't. And therefore, you don't have to spend the rest of your life honoring anything. You can be grateful for the moments, but then you don't have to hold yourself on. Because I've seen a lot of widows who couldn't even move on because they were married to this wonderful man and they never wanted to move on after he died. Perhaps maybe this was God saying, uh, this is the guy you truly married. I want you to heal. And then one day you'll open up yourself to greater and even better things. Not necessarily another man, but just life in general. Listen, I don't know the reasons. I'm just throwing it out there. The idea behind me throwing it all out there is just so that you don't just focus on this one thing of betrayal, because that's just going to paralyze you. That's all I'm saying. I'm just glad that at least when you confronted the whole family, they did come clean. They could have not, right? In which case, that would have hurt even more. So go on, just focus on that counseling, start healing from that point of view. And then everything else will start falling into place. I really wish you luck. I wish you well. More than anything, I hope you rediscover yourself. But I can promise you, life doesn't stop. Life goes on, and you will come out on the other side.